Everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to analyze multiple response survey data where the responses appear in multiple columns. Each selection is coded as yes or no. We are going to do this in Power BI. So let's look at the survey data I have. So I have a sample survey data here where we ask respondents which of the following social media platforms do you use. So the options were Facebook, WhatsApp, and so on. So we downloaded our survey data and each selection appeared in multiple columns like this. So we want to summarize this in Power BI. So if you look at this kind of multiple response survey data, this selection is coded as yes or no, where yes means that that option was selected, no means otherwise. So if we look at the first one, respondent number one, is coded as no, and the option we have for that one is Facebook, so that means that the person didn't select Facebook, and so on. So how do we summarize this in Power BI? Alright, so let's go to our Power BI. So here we have the Power BI canvas. So currently we do not have data, so we have to load data to our Power BI. So our data is in Excel, so we can import data from Excel. Depending on how your data is, which file your data, you have your data, you can export it using the appropriate file format. Alright, so let's import it using from Excel. So this is our survey data. Click on it. It opens up in the navigate. So here we have our data. So we can preview the data that we have in the Excel file. So this is the data we're going to be working with. So if you look at it, we can preview it and check that everything's fine. Then afterwards, we can transform the data using the transform data tab, or we can just load it straight to Power BI canvas and start our analysis. But here we want to go forward to clean up our data to make it in a to make it easy for us to analyze. So let's click on transform data and then load it to Power Query. So here we have our multiple response survey data that we want to analyze it in Power BI. So first, let's look for all the multiple response columns that we have. So we have the first from our left, which is the first column. So we click on that, hold down the shift key, scroll to the right and click on the last column. So we've selected all the multiple response columns that we have in the data. So what we are going to do is that let's go to replace values and replace all no's by null. So we want to configure our data in a way that Power Query will recognize that all entries in the columns that we selected, which are no, means that that data it was null. So we click on this and then we have it. So after we do this, we go to any of the columns. Whilst we still have all the columns selected, right click and scroll down to pivot only selected columns. So we've unpivoted the multiple response question. So the next thing that we want to do is that you see that we have each of the response is comes with the question. So we want to we have to remove the question parts, and so let's copy that. Click the attribute column, go to replace values, paste the question and then replace it. So we now have all the responses here. So we can name the attribute column as social media platforms they use. So here, this is the value column. We don't need it. So if you look on the value column, you see that all of these ones are coded as yes or no, because we replace we configured the no entries as now, so which means that Power Query would have ignored it long time, so we don't need it again. So we can just remove this value column and we have our social media platforms. Alright, so that is it. So let's go to here, close and apply, and then we can load our data to the data model. Alright, so when you look on the right, we have our data here and all the columns that are in the data. The visuals here is where we can build our visuals. Then we have filters here where appropriate we can filter out some categories and so on. So we want to build a chart. So let's start with a table. Let's click here for a matrix so that we can visualize the data before we build a chart. So this is the social media platform which is our multiple response variable. So we pick it and drop it in the row first. All right. Then if you check, so we want to count for each response that we have, each platform, we want to count it by column ID. So pick the ID which identify individual respondents in the survey and drop it in the value first. So here you have to click on the drop down and go to count. So if you look at the total, we have 357 because each respondent could select more than one. So if you add all the selections here to give you this value, but we in our data we have just the respondents were 100, so we want to find a percentage of each of the platforms by the total number of respondents, not by the number of selections. So we have to be able to show this total to be 100. So how do we do that? So we go to the values, we click on this drop down here and then go to count the string count. You see that it has changed to 100. So right now, if we take percentage of that total, what it means is that it's percentage out of the total number of respondents. So we can make reference to the sample or subsample at any point, which is very important. So once we do that, we can take percentage of totals. So let's go here and show value as percentage of column total. And then we have our percentage here. We can sort it in descending or ascending order. So let's sort it by the column ID. Then we have the highest to the lowest. All right. So if you look at this, we may want to reduce the number of decimal places just to clean it out. So you go to under the build visuals, you have this one that we can format the visuals. So we need to go to specific column. And the specific column, you scroll down and go to values, so we can reduce the number of decimal places. All right. So we have it here. So this is how we analyze multiple response questions where the selections at the end. Multiple columns, each is coded as yes or no. So we can put the visuals aside the table too. So let's look at, since this selection they add up to more than 100%, stack 100% stack bar chart will not be appropriate here, but we can show bar chart that try to look at the percentage of each one. So we have it here. So that is it. Okay. So we can do a lot of formatting to the chart. We can go to the x-axis, you can format as all the values that we have. We can increase the font size and so on. Then we can also go to let's format, can show the labels, the data labels here. All right, we can also reduce the number of decimal places for that. Click on the values, you can increase the values. You can also change the color. Okay, then the position too, we can position it where we want it to be. So let's position it inside side end. All right, so the bars too, we can change the formatting for the bars. Let's go down here, the bars, so we can change the color. So let's say if we want it to be blue or which other color that we want. So that is it. So we can even add slicer. So let's add slicer that we can filter our data. So if we want, we can filter by gender. We can put the gender slicer here. We can also even format it. So go to slicer settings. Then we can show it as drop down. So if we want, we can show it as drop down, or we can show the titles as male and female. That is it, so that you can just click on it to filter. All right. So if we also want, we can segment the data by gender, just picking the gender variable and then cross tabulating its it in the column field. So this is why. So we can put it in the gender in the legend. Let's clear the filter. Then we have male and female. All right, so you can do some kind of twist around that and so on. So that is it. Bye.